Jack Harlan had always cherished the vast 5,000-acre ranch in Montana that had been in his family for generations. Inherited from his father and grandfather, the land stretched across rolling hills and dense forests, with crystal-clear titles dating back over a century. It was his sanctuary, a place where he raised cattle, hiked the trails, and escaped the chaos of the world. But one crisp autumn morning, everything changed when Jack spotted a strange envelope zip-tied to the fence along his property line. It wasn't just any mile, it was an official notice from the Jefferson County Recorder's Office, declaring a contested ownership claim and slapping a temporary administrative hold on his land. His heart pounding, Jack ripped open the envelope. The letter claimed that a long-lost heir had surfaced with documents proving prior ownership, and until the matter was resolved, no changes could be made to the property. Stunned, he immediately dialed the county clerk's office, demanding answers. The clerk was evasive, mumbling about documents submitted by an estate representative that were under review. "It's all preliminary," she said, but her tone did little to ease the knot in Jack's stomach. This wasn't just bureaucracy, it felt like an ambush. Days later, the intrusion escalated. A convoy of jeeps rolled onto his land, unloading surveyors armed with drones, GPS equipment, and measuring tapes. They acted like they owned the place, marking boundaries and staking claims without a word to Jack. Furious, he confronted them, but they waved him off, saying they worked for the Silver Ridge Estates HOA. That's when Brenda Whitaker appeared, a sharp-dressed woman in her 50s with a clipboard and a smug grin. She introduced herself as the HOA president and dropped the bombshell. Her late aunt, Ethel Whitaker, had allegedly inherited the land through a 1989 will, and now Brenda was here to develop it into luxury estates. Jack's blood boiled. "That's impossible," he roared. His family had held the deed unchallenged for decades. Brenda thrust a copy of the supposed will into his hands, but something felt off. The signature looked unnaturally perfect, the paper artificially aged with faint coffee stains that screamed forgery. Jack stormed to the county recorder's office, slamming his own documents on the counter: deeds, tax records, surveys. The officials sympathized but explained the land was frozen pending a full review. Meanwhile, the HOA didn't let up. They dug trenches for utilities, hammered in private property, Silver Ridge Estates signs, and flew drones overhead, buzzing like angry hornets. Desperate, Jack called the sheriff, but the response was maddening. "This is a civil matter, Mr. Harlan. We can't intervene unless there's violence." The HOA's actions stirred controversy in the small-town. Whispers of corporate greed versus family legacy divided neighbors. Some sided with Jack, seeing it as a blatant land grab, while others bought into Brenda's promises of jobs and development, igniting heated debates at local diners. Jack wasn't about to roll over. He hired attorney Michael Hargrove, a no-nonsense litigator with a track record in property disputes, along with forensic experts, a document analyst, and a graphologist. As they dug in, the HOA ramped up their aggression. A field operations trailer appeared overnight on Jack's acreage, complete with generators humming and workers sinking concrete markers into the soil. Jack confronted Brenda face-to-face, their argument echoing across the fields. "You're trespassing on my land," he shouted. She smirked. "It's not yours anymore, Mr. Harlan. Progress waits for no one." Tensions boiled over during a standoff when Jack blocked their equipment with his truck. Workers called the police, who arrived to de-escalate but refused to arrest Jack, citing the disputed status. That night, he rigged floodlights around the site, illuminating their every move like a prison yard. The forensic reports came back explosive. The will's paper dated to 1993, not 1989. The ink was from 2005. The notary's stamp belonged to someone whose license had been revoked years earlier. And worst of all, Ethel's signature appeared digitally pasted, with pixel artifacts visible under magnification. It was fraud, pure and simple. Armed with this, Jack filed complaints, sought injunctions, and reported the forgery to authorities. Brenda countered viciously, slapping him with an eviction lawsuit that claimed he was the squatter. The court temporarily reclassified 80 acres as disputed, allowing the HOA to continue their surveys. Drones swarmed daily, capturing footage for promotional videos. Brenda launched a PR blitz, articles in local papers touting the revitalization project banners fluttering with slogans like Silver Ridge, your dream awaits, and even compliance notices mailed to Jack demanding he cease interference. Investor tours rolled in, with suited executives trampling his pastures, sparking outrage among environmentalists who decried the potential destruction of pristine wilderness. The controversy exploded publicly when Jack crashed an HOA informational meeting at the town hall. Standing amid potential buyers, he laid out the evidence, his voice thundering. "This woman is trying to steal my family's legacy with a fake document. Don't let her fool you." Gasps rippled through the crowd as doubt seeded. Brenda's face flushed crimson, but she fired back, accusing Jack of slander and clinging to outdated traditions in a modern world. The meeting devolved into chaos, with attendees arguing over ethics versus opportunity. Then came the vandalism. Jack returned home to find his cabin spray painted with "Vacate Now" in bold red letters, windows smashed, and tires slashed on his truck. He documented everything with photos but held off reporting, suspecting it would play into Brenda's narrative of him as the aggressor. More damning evidence surfaced. A paper trail linked the forgery to Brenda's assistant and a shady county insider, hinting at a conspiracy that could rock local government. Whispers of bribes and backroom deals fueled town gossip, turning the dispute into a scandal. Brenda doubled down, hosting a lavish press and stakeholder preview on the disputed land-catered tents, speeches about community benefits, and photo ops. But as the event peaked, sirens wailed. Authorities swarmed in with search warrants, disrupting the festivities and hauling away boxes of documents. Reporters captured the mayhem, broadcasting the HOA's humiliation nationwide. The fraud was unraveling. The climax hit like a thunderstorm. Brenda, cornered, resorted to desperation. A man posing as a federal marshal, Mr. Larkin, showed up at Jack's door with bogus papers ordering immediate evacuation. "You've got 24 hours, he barked, flanked by HOA goons. Jack stood his ground, phone in hand recording everything. "This smells like more lies," he said, his voice steady despite the fear. Minutes later, real law enforcement arrived, tipped off by Jack's attorney. They arrested Brenda on the spot for felony fraud, forgery, trespassing, and conspiracy. Larkin was detained as an accomplice, his fake badge confiscated. Vehicles were searched, yielding laptops full of incriminating emails and altered records. In the chaos, Brenda's assistant cracked under pressure, agreeing to testify against her in exchange for leniency. HOA board members resigned en masse, distancing themselves from the fallout as investors fled. The arrests made headlines, sparking debates over land rights, corporate overreach, and the vulnerability of family inheritances to scams. Critics accused authorities of dragging their feet, possibly complicit, while supporters hailed it as justice served. The trial was a spectacle, lasting 8 grueling days. Prosecutors presented the fake will, drone footage of illegal activities, forensic analyses, and witness testimonies. Brenda's defense painted her as a misguided visionary, but the evidence was overwhelming. The jury deliberated for mere hours before delivering a guilty verdict on all counts. She was sentenced to 12 years in prison, her assets frozen, and the Silver Ridge Estates HOA disbanded. The judge's condemnation rang out. "Your actions were a brazen assault on property rights and trust. This land grab ends here." With his rights reaffirmed and a protective injunction in place, Jack installed a massive new sign at his gate: Harlan Ranch, family-owned, forever protected. As he gazed over the peaceful expanse, the sun dipping behind the mountains, he reflected on the ordeal. The land's serenity had been shattered, but so had the illusion of security. In a world where greed could forge documents and divide communities, his victory was bittersweet, a reminder that some fights expose the ugliest truths about ambition and betrayal. Yet, the ranch endured, a testament to resilience amid controversy.